Hey guys, Rich Lopez with the Drop Time Traditions podcast. I think this will be episode 168. I'm not sure. Do not quote me on that, but I'm a week ahead of time. So Darren, your podcast, our podcast, will drop next week. I'm a
Okay.
week ahead because I'm traveling a lot lately, so it's
Sure.
crazy. Folks, my guest tonight is Mr. Darron Giancola, aka Darren Joe, on social media platforms. How you doing, Darren?
Pretty good. How are you, buddy?
Good, man. Now, before we get into it, I want to acknowledge the supporters. Stickbow Country Custom Arrows, Traps Feather Rest, Daryl Damron makes the best darn feather rests on the planet. Traditional Bowhunter magazine, of course. Sauk Trail Archery, um, stickbowsupplies.com, Whiskey City Trad Gear, which I'm sure you're familiar with those
Oh
guys,
yeah.
Dave and
Yeah.
them.
Yep.
WCTrad.com, Jessie Savage Blacksmith, an old friend of mine. Traditionaljunk.com, Kevin Bishop, St. Joe River Bow Company, theethicalpredator.com, stickbowhuntsmx.com. And folks, I'm a huge supporter of the Professional Bowhunter Society, aka the PBS, and Compton's Traditional Archers. Check them out online. It's a great thing. They support everything and anything and everything traditional archery and in archery overall. Good people. Check them out. Anyway, Darren. So, Indiana boy.
Oh yeah. Born and
Hey,
raised.
God bless you. So, tell me a little background. Born and raised. How do things come to be?
Yeah. Well, all my family's from Louisville, Kentucky,
Hmm.
and mom and dad moved up here in, gosh, late '80s, and dad was working in steel mills in northern Indiana up by Gary. And thankfully for my brother and I's sake, they moved away from there, and
I've
they
been through
kind of
Gary.
oh yeah, Gary is not a place that you want to live. But yeah, so they were up there and they moved down here to Lafayette, Indiana, which is about an hour northeast or northwest of Indy,
Mhm.
and by Purdue University, not too far from there. And born and raised here, so spent a lot of time in Kentucky because we did go visit the family and stuff there quite a bit. So I spent a lot of time in Kentucky and grandparents and stuff like that. But Indiana, my whole life.
And yeah, when we went through, my family's in Wisconsin, so
Okay.
we would drive through just the corner of it to get to
Hmm.
Wisconsin, and we went through Gary, and I said, "Yeah." I'm looking around, so yeah, this is totally industrial, and
Oh yeah,
does not look safe. So
yeah,
my wife's like, "Why do you say that?" I said, "I was born and raised in New Jersey. I know what not safe is." Okay,
yeah. Gary Hammond, all that up there. Yeah,
yeah.
it's even worse now. But yeah, back then, Dad was like a technical guy. So back then, he said, you'd get flyers in the mail or something. You'd talk to people on the phone, and then you just show up, and that's
Hmm.
kind of what he did. And he worked in the steel mill for a while, and then he actually just retired from Eli Lilly Company 4 weeks ago or something like that. So
How old's your
yeah,
dad?
he is 65, just turned 65, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he worked his ass off his whole life, and and my mom raised me and my brother right. Good, loving family, and all that stuff. Mom was always there to have home cooked dinner in the evenings,
Yep.
and all that. So kind of
So
just that
basic,
true
so
American.
basically, you all sat around the table and had conversation.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely, every
Now,
night.
now, what do you do now? It's modern. It's 21st century. You're married. You've got kids.
Yep.
What do you
It
do?
is not like that. I wish it was. There's sometimes where we're all together and we'll sit down and eat dinner, but my kids play every sport they can,
Mhm.
and my wife's a 911 dispatcher, so she's got kind of weird hours. So sometimes it's I'm getting home and kids have already ate because they got to be off somewhere or vice versa. So it doesn't happen as much as I want it to, but yeah, those were good times. A lot of good conversation with family around the table.
Yeah,
So
that's cool. Yeah, because I know us raising our kids, when now they're all the kids are in their 30s and late 30s and 40s and whatnot. So
sure.
grandkids are involved. We had them over for Thanksgiving. So I said, okay. And I stood at the front door and everybody had to put their cell phone in a bag.
Oh, I love it.
And I put the cell phones in a back bedroom. Guess what? We get to talk
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
whole afternoon, watch football and talk. So
yep.
And that's how that
Yeah,
went down.
everybody's on their phones nowadays, and I'm just as guilty as the next guy. But
Oh, I am
uh,
too. I mean, because
yeah,
I mean, I use my phone. Well, I refinish and repair bows.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
all day long, I'm getting hit with IMs from people. Hey, man, this,
Oh
blah,
yeah,
blah. So I love it because give them a quick answer or give them a quick tutorial, send them a video, do whatever I can to help somebody. But
yeah,
yeah,
and
but
you're kind of known as one of those guys that like is reachable. Like I've heard
oh
guys say,
yeah.
like I sent Rich a message, about this bear takedown or whatever, and he got right back with me, and that's an important thing I think, and that's pretty much widespread with this kind of community. But
Well, it
um,
is, and it was. I mean, as a younger man, I mean, my mentors were Gene and Barry Wenzel, and I got to
oh,
meet Fred Bear. I got to meet these people as a teenager, so they really influenced my life. But
sure,
they
yeah,
were so generous with information. I'm paying
hmm,
it forward now. That's why we're
yeah,
having this podcast here. I want to pay
no,
it forward. I want people to meet people. I want people to interact people. And that's how it goes from there. But
yeah, thing.
so when were you introduced to hunting? Was this your dad, or is this something a
Uh,
grandpa or an uncle?
Believe it or not, no. Like, so my dad wasn't. He did a little small game hunting,
Mhm.
but we were like a fishing family. So, like, you're from Wisconsin, we'd go up to Wisconsin and stay in a cabin and go catch perch and stuff like that. My mom's brothers, they were hunters, and I can remember going down into Kentucky and my uncle giving me a half rack or something he found, and I always had interest in it, but I never really had anyone to kind of show me the way. So when I turned 18, I went to a pawn shop, bought a shotgun with my parents'
Mm.
permission, of course, because I still living at home. But and we owned a little bit of property where I grew up, and I knew there was deer there, and I shot a doe that year, and it was just kind of off and running with that. Hunted with a gun for a few years, and then I think I was in college when a buddy of mine gave me a compound bow. And I believe it or not, it was either like a bear whitetail 2 or bear black bear. And I actually have a black bear Wharf riser back here, but and I shot the hell out of that thing. I mean, we'd get the cops called on us in college because we'd shoot from our living room through our kitchen out the back door at bag targets in the backyard. And then that bow blew apart on me. Like full, like cable broke and everything. I'm trying to think when I want to say maybe it was a year after college or so. I started making my own money, and I went and bought a Hoyt compound, killed a couple deer with that, and I was never really into it. And I was that guy that in August I'd get my bow out and shoot it or whatever. And then I want to say I hunted compound and a little bit of gun hunting, and then in 2014 I had an issue with a bow. I think it was a mission bow that I had at the time, and I had to return it or something, or it had to go back. And I had a recurve that I was shooting fish with because we did a bunch of bow fishing back then, did
Mhm.
tournaments and stuff. So I'm like, well, I'm just going to try. I didn't know anything. I put a whisker biscuit on it, and I'm in the backyard, kind of shooting. And I'm like, man, I can kind of hit where I want to hit with this. Like, I think I kind of want to do this. So I bought a Samick Sage kit from Three Rivers, and yeah, they sent me. I ordered some arrows, and I just started flinging. And December of that year, I killed my first deer with a recurve.
So, all right, killing your first deer with me, I killed my first deer. God, I'm 65. So I was yeah, I was 17 because I had my driver's license.
Yeah.
Took me 7 years to kill it. And I was by myself on top of a ridge. And I'm like,
Hmm.
all right, now here come the animal's dead. I'm looking at it. Now what?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That was the same scenario I was in. I killed this doe, shoot it with a 12 gauge, and it just poof, right there. And I'm up there. I'm like, oh yeah, I can't wait to tell my friends at school about this. What do I do with it now?
Right.
And like this was this was like pre YouTube.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So um so like my dad, he had a buddy that he worked with that he'd caped out deer and done all that stuff. So he calls up Adam, and Adam comes over, and we go and we check it. Back then you check it and they give you a metal
Right.
tag. You don't get any of that anymore, which sucks. But um, and then so yeah, as my dad's work buddy came over and more or less kind of taught me how to process it, and we all did it together in the
That's
garage.
good.
And I don't do it myself anymore, but I could if I had to.
Right. Sure.
But yeah, so
I had
yeah, it was
I
one
had
of those.
Xerox copies. I made
Oh
Xerox
yeah,
copies from the library.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even have that. I mean, that's like it was one of those things where like my buddies at the time, my buddies at school that were they growing up hunting, they're telling me about hunting season. I'm like, man, I really want to do that. I really want to do that. And I was just like, I'm just going to do it. And I was dating a girl at the time. Her dad was a big hunter, and he kind of gave
Oh,
me
that's
some
cool.
insight. He actually gave me the slugs for the gun that I was going to shoot, and we sighted in out at his place. And so yeah, it was kind of that. Almost old school of you just
Yeah.
people that help you learn this new thing. And once I started doing it, I was hooked, so
Yeah, dude. I mean, for years I processed deer, up in Maryland to my house. And my
hmm
wife, who comes from a hunting family, she hunted with me a few times, but she'd rather just stay home and look pretty. And that's fine,
that's
and
my wife.
God bless her. Um, we would have meat, we called it a meat party. So I'd go
hmm
to town, I'd get a case of beer, a bottle of Jameson, and she's in the kitchen. I'm quartering deer. I'd have three does hanging up in the garage, and I'm quartering, and I'm, getting them to where they're manageable pieces of meat with bone.
Right.
And she would debone and then make ground, or she'd make sausage, or she would be in the kitchen just processing with a processor.
Yep.
She knew what was a tenderloin. That is, you cut them off in 12-inch sections, 12, 14 inches, and, don't do anything with them as far as
Yeah.
grinding them.
Yep.
So
Leave those alone.
she knew that they were sacred ground.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
neck meat, that was we just ground that up for the dog. I hate neck meat. Shoulders, again, jerky, stuff like that. But
No
that's
roast.
awesome. Yeah, roast. Yeah, that's obvious. Roast
Yeah.
for there, man. The crock pot, forget about it.
Oh yeah. Yep. Some peppers and some au jus, and
Oh
you have a
yeah,
good sandwich.
you got that right. Now I'm salivating because
Yeah.
I haven't eaten, so I'm getting hungry.
I haven't
Um,
yet either.
my wife tells me I'm having frozen burritos for dinner, so I was like, all right, great, thanks.
I think we're doing BLTs tonight.
Oh, that's good. Good
Yeah.
BLT, pound of bacon.
Oh
Good
yeah.
tomatoes are hard to come by.
Yeah, they are. My wife, she's Hispanic, so she picks produce really well. So
Okay, well I'm Puerto Rican, so que
okay,
bueno.
yeah, she's from South Texas. She grew up. Parents had a Hispanic, Mexican restaurant, and she is one hell of a cook. I tell
God
you
bless
what.
you. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
good. Well, you're a big dude. I know you work out, so
yeah. She keeps
um,
me fed.
keeps your proteins going.
Oh
Keep
yeah.
the muscle mass. Now
Yep.
you're in law enforcement, correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Since
Thank
2009.
thank you for your service.
Thank you. I
That's
appreciate
important.
that.
That's important to me.
Yeah,
Uh,
I appreciate that.
yeah, I come from a military background. I wasn't in the
hmm
military, but my father was in. He was in Korea and Nam,
Oh
and
wow.
yeah, so you know,
God bless you.
yeah, God bless him. He's not with us anymore, but he had some crazy stories.
Oh, I
But
bet. I
yeah,
bet.
he had a houseboy when he was in Vietnam. He had a houseboy, and a Vietnamese houseboy. His nickname was Shithead. That's what they call. He responded to it, and I was like,
Oh
"Wow,
yeah.
really?" He goes, "We didn't know any Vietnamese, so we just spoke to him and just that was his name." And I said, "That's if you think about it now, Pop, that's terrible." And he
Yeah.
goes, "That was 50 years ago. Who
Oh
cares?"
yeah, absolutely.
He goes,
Yeah.
"That's the way we were back then." He goes, "We were animals." And I said, "I
Yeah.
get it, I get it."
Yeah,
But
both my mom's brothers were Navy guys, and and her dad was a Navy guy. He was actually in the Pacific in World War II,
oh
and he passed in 1994. But Golden Gloves boxer, just
yeah,
just
well,
raw
that
dude.
generation, Darren,
Yeah.
those were badasses. That
Oh yeah.
generation, they unapologetic
hmm
respect for everything that gave
Yep.
respect back.
Yep.
And that's how you don't see that today.
No.
I think your
No.
generation is the last of it.
Yeah, it's really getting there, and there's the few of us that are still trying to raise our kids the right way.
Yeah.
And then you got these other people that they want to buy into we won't turn this into a different type of
No, no, we
podcast,
won't.
but
But
you
I
know
get
what I
it. Yeah,
mean.
they
So
just want to just make it woke, for
yeah,
lack
yeah,
for
and
lack of a better term.
they feed it, and that doesn't happen around here where I'm at, and
No,
definitely doesn't happen with my kids. So
no, not my
I
world
got
either.
great
Not
kids.
my world either. I respect my wife like she's my best friend. I respect other people, my
Hmm.
elders especially,
Oh
and
yeah.
you know, elderly people today. Think about it. They are so shunned, in my
Hmm.
opinion.
Hmm.
And I'm a firm believer in loving everything and everybody.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm a religious individual. I don't probably not as religious as I should be, but
Right.
here now that I'm getting older, I'm feeling a little more vulnerable, and a little more unsheltered.
Yeah.
My
Yeah. That
shield
makes sense.
isn't my or my invisible shield is not as safe as it once was,
Right. Yeah.
and
I'm
that's
sure
just
that's a
with
natural
getting
thing.
age. That's
Yeah.
with anything. So I mean, I won't even let my wife clean the house
Right.
because she had a brain operation about 3 years ago. But I don't let her do anything except go in a pool, go swim, do exercises,
Yeah.
release endorphins, and I will
Sure.
take care of the rest. Cook,
Yep.
clean, all that. But at any rate,
Yep.
so any bow hunting heroes in your life?
I mean, obviously Fred Bear, when I first started getting into, I want to say like archery for me prior to single string
Hmm.
really just was kind of a thing for me. Like it was just, a tool and it didn't really mean anything to me. But as I got into like the single string stuff, Fred Bear, um, I love Fred Eichler. I mean,
Hmm.
I feel like every time he kills something on any of his shows or anything or whatever, he's like just as jacked as day one.
Oh yeah,
Um, Ted Nugent's done so much for the community, the hunting community, and for rights and stuff. So it's hard not to like that guy. But yeah, Fred's awesome. I I wish I would have maybe had more knowledge up until when I did. But like I got George Coppin's book
oh yeah.
somewhere.
George
But
is an
and,
old
and
buddy.
like I collected like bear grizzlies for a while. The only old bears I have now is I have my wife's 66, I think it is, Tiger Cat.
That's up
And then
top.
yeah, one of the ones up.
Hmm.
And then the very top one, that's like I think it's a 60. Yeah, it's a 64 zebra wood that I bought off a guy, and the very first time I pulled it back at Blue Park.
Okay.
So it's taped together, but yeah, Fred Bear's awesome. I mean, he's what he was doing at the time. Like if you really kind of take a look back at what he was doing back then, just I mean,
Yeah.
completely, changed the world as far as hunting goes. And
When I
he
met
was a
him,
businessman
he
too.
was a businessman, and he was
Oh yeah,
just, but he was humble about it. He wasn't
yeah,
like a hardcore, but like a lot of businessmen, today's day, the people I deal with, they're like very aggressive. They're very
right,
irritating, actually, for lack of a better term. He was just a humble person and a likable guy, and he was very interested in you.
right.
I met him when I was 18. I stood on a line that went around like 5 cattle buildings to go finally meet him. I got an armload of bows. I've been carrying these things for hours. I show up and he signs every single one of them, and he actually sits me down in behind the table with him, and there's people waiting, and he took 15 minutes out of his day to talk to me.
Yeah, that means a lot to people.
Yeah,
It really
dude.
does.
Yeah, I wrote him a letter thanking him for his time, and it was right around. I think how old was I? Yeah, I was 78 when I met him. He died in I think 81 or somewhere in there. At any rate, I wrote a letter of condolences and prayers to his wife Henrietta, and
Hmm.
she sent me a beautiful letter back, which I still own. I still have it.
Yeah,
It's part of my collection.
yeah.
But just
I've seen
amazing
some.
stuff.
I've seen some letters floating around out there that guys have shared that he would write other owners of companies and just wish them well and happy
Yeah,
holidays and stuff like that. And I'm sure that maybe was a little bit more common back then because we didn't have email and text
sure.
messages and whatever. But for a guy that is probably was as busy as he was to sit down and take the time to to
Mhm.
talk to a young Rich Lopez and say talk to him about hunting or whatever, like that's that's just a testament of probably who he was. And but there's so many guys that you can look up to in the sport. Like nowadays, like like Tom Clum.
Hmm.
Tom Clum's like just an awesome dude. Like I shoot his riser, talk to him and his son Tommy. Joel Turner, the stuff that the this generation is really getting their fill on with social media and stuff like that. Like they're doing great things, keeping the sport alive and helping guys that are battling with target panic and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a whole list of people out there that I really look up to.
So you mentioned Tom Clum and Joel Turner.
Hmm.
I'm going to jump up a couple of questions
Okay.
because I'm really suffering from serious form issues.
Hmm.
Have you taken any of their courses?
I have not. I haven't. I've almost done the Shot IQ course a couple of times. I don't know why I haven't, but I pick up little pieces there, here and there. I had he goes by it's just Newman on Instagram.
Okay.
He's an archery coach, and a couple years ago, I did some things where I sent him some videos, and then he has this really cool way where he can put it into a file that he can send you and pick apart, like, and give you some pointers and stuff like that. And that dude pulled me out of the depths of some serious target panic problems that I was having. And like, I mean, just like anybody, like I was just talking to him yesterday because I got a release problem going on right now. I just, for
Yeah,
whatever reason,
yeah, plucking.
it's like a micro collapse, and then seems like I'm pulling through. But he gave me some tips, and I was working on that a little bit today. But it's one of those things like, but I want to say shooting a traditional bow is like 75% mental,
Oh
probably
yeah.
more,
Oh
like
yeah.
probably more. Like and if your headspace isn't right, like it can really mess with you.
Oh, I'm brain damaged beyond repair because I'll go in the backyard and I will shoot the first five arrows. They're garbage. So I got to get
Mhm.
my composure back because I got to realize I'm by myself.
Right.
I've got a 3D target. I just come through and stop, anchor, and talk to myself within my head. That's what I have not been doing.
Right. Yep.
And then go through the process. But again, like you see, my elbow is dropped.
Yeah.
You got to bring it up and align it, line the bow arm with the string arm, a
Hmm.
straight plane. And then it works.
Yep.
But I don't do it every time. I collapse. It's a complete failure.
Yeah.
But when I got
Collapses.
when I got an animal in front of me, I never fail.
Yeah. Grip it and rip it. I mean,
Yeah.
on daily, like
I'm not
that's,
thinking. That's the
yeah.
problem. I'm not thinking. I'm just instinctively just killing this
Yep.
thing.
And that's what I was talking to Newman about yesterday. Is I've been really working on, like, a nice long hold, almost like you would expect like a target archer to shoot.
Yeah.
And
30 seconds.
yeah, I mean, a long time. And I got to the point where I was holding too long, I think, because my biggest problem for the longest time was like I'd settle in and then I'd just start yipping. And I would fight through that, and I can fight through that all day now. But then it's like I'm getting to a point where I'm like, it's time to, shit or get off the pot. And
Right.
then I can't get off the string. So, I was talking to him, and he was like, I was like, when I kind of go back to my old way of shooting, where I'm maybe at anchor for 3 or 4 seconds, my arrows are going where I want them to go. And he was like, so go back to that. He's like, keep your form right, but there's no reason to be holding 30 seconds when you're shooting at a 3D target, which,
Sure.
you know, but so I'm kind of working on some things, but that's kind of half the battle with the single string is, you can be on top of a mountain today, and tomorrow you can be digging yourself a grave underneath.
Yeah.
So
Do you ever watch Aaron Snyder stuff?
yeah, yeah. I just noticed here recently he's kind of getting back into the
Yeah.
single string stuff, which is
He
good.
is, which is good. And it's what's crazy is he's a compound dude. As
Hmm.
he's dabbled in both 50-50.
Hmm.
But he gets into it like to the point where, man, he can switch gears quickly and do very well with it.
Oh yeah, yeah. He posted a video the other day of some shooting some lighted knocks or something.
Oh yeah, he
And
was shooting at
like,
night. He was shooting at
yeah,
night.
yeah, yeah. That's pretty sweet. But
Yeah.
yeah, he's a. I think it's a good thing for him to be. I don't know why he's making the switch back, but I think it's a good thing for him to be, active with the traditional stuff because I know a lot of guys really like his content and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a
Yeah.
good thing.
Aaron's one I want to get on the podcast, and Tom Clum's one I want to get on the podcast. I've had the push on. Uh, that
Yep.
was when I was doing a Spotify, but I do both platforms now.
Yep.
So I found you on social media, and we found each other, I should say.
Yeah.
You've killed some freaking mother effers deer. Okay, let's talk. Let's switch gears here, and let's get into
Sure.
the meat and potatoes of deer hunting.
Yeah.
Um, what's your scouting process? Let's go there because was that monster you killed last year? Was that last year?
Yeah. That was in November.
What'd that thing
But
score? About 160, 170?
if I had to guess, I don't have him back yet. He's probably going to go like 170s. If I had to
Okay.
guess.
Hmm.
But
A lot of mass.
yeah, huge. To be honest with you, I actually got his. This is his shed from last year.
Oh, beautiful.
It got chewed up a little bit, but
Now, did he score? Well, you haven't had it scored, have you?
haven't had it yet. I'm hoping
No.
it'll be back by Compton
Okay.
because I'll
Well,
bring
do you
it
think it's going to score as a non-typical or a typical?
probably non-typical if I had to
Yeah.
guess.
Hmm.
But yeah, to be honest with you, like I kind of have people that kind of think that I'm just like a trophy hunter,
No, no.
and
You
I'm really
you
not
live
that
in
guy.
you live in a game-rich state, okay?
Yeah,
And I
and
know Indiana because I've hunted in Wisconsin and I've driven through Indiana and I've seen bucks in some field. I'm like, oh my God, this is a sleeper state.
oh, it really is. I think Indiana's. I mean, every year. I mean, especially with social media now, you can really see the hammers that are getting dropped over the state. And to be honest with you, I've been hunting one specific property that I'm blessed to hunt, and uh, it's
Damn it.
produced some seriously big deer that I've just been lucky to kill.
Hmm.
That one, you're gonna hate this. 2014, my first ever trad deer.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
Well,
He's a
happens.
he's
Happens.
a he's a 160s, but and yeah, a funny story when I saw that deer on the hoof like a month before at like 30 yards, and it rattled me, and I was like, man, if I had a compound, but I was like, I ain't doing that. So it was just kind of a whatever thing, just taking the experience. And then I got a shot at him late season. It was like December 14th or something, and sitting on the ground, and I shot him about 16 yards. But so yeah, the scouting process, like to be brutally honest, I run a trail camera early season.
Hmm.
I'll throw it out there in August and just kind of see what's going on. But it'll be one trail camera. I won't really mess around too much. I've hunted this same area so long. I know where the deer bed. I know how they're going to react if there's beans in the field or if there's corn in the field, depending on the year. Um, I'll know which travel corridor they're going to use. It's worked out for me really well. In 2024, I set a camera. I set a camera and had bucks using the same, almost still bachelored up early season, using the same trail, and I killed a really nice buck the first sit on it.
Hmm.
But it doesn't always go that way.
Well,
I've
when
shot.
let me ask you this question. Okay, you're using the cameras and all that. You kind of have an idea where the bedding area is, where they're
Hmm.
coming out, what they're doing. Do you
Hmm.
stay out of their sanctuaries?
Yes, yes. Um, I don't do any of the. I mean, you like Cody DeQuisto. He's awesome,
Oh,
but
he's a maniac.
he's like super aggressive. Like he wants to be in their bed and waiting for them when they come back to bed. I don't do anything like that. Um, but I just I know where they're bedding, and I know that they're going to bed there like every year.
Mhm.
So I kind of know I know the rhythm, I guess, of this certain property. But yeah, I don't go traipsing around in there or anything like that. I try to
Yeah.
play that a little safe.
So basically, hunt and hang cameras within or outside them, entry and exit, the stand locations, you're kind of cautious.
Yeah, yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
that was real Jersey, cautious. You
Yeah,
know,
real cautious. Yeah,
cautious. Have some
I use
coffee.
I use the I'll have like two stands that are like hard set stands, and
Mhm.
then um I love my open shot climber. So if even with a small property that I know the what the deer usually are doing, they
Mhm.
still do weird shit sometimes, So it's
Yeah,
like you do want to be able to be mobile, even though it's a smaller property. So I got my Summit open shot climber that I'll throw up, if I need to make a move, or even if it's like I'm wanting to sit this game trail and the wind ain't right, but if I'm sitting over here, the wind's okay for me, but not in my hard hunt or my hang on set.
sure.
So like sometimes I'll jump 20 yards away just because I know I'm never going to be downwind or upwind of them the way they're coming. You know what I'm saying? So like even if it's just moving a little bit, uh, in my opinion, it can pay dividends.
Now, Cody promotes hunting 10 feet off the ground.
Yeah, yeah,
What are
yeah.
your thoughts on that?
Uh,
And he's using, obviously he's promoting the stands that they're making. Their saddle.
sure.
It's not even a saddle. It's just a platform. I really don't know what they're doing.
Oh, they're making like the lightest, more or less
Flat,
mobile hunting
right?
setup
You
you
just
can
need like
get.
two step sections. Get up, get in the middle of a
Yeah,
pine tree. Just trim out around
yep,
you, and play in the
yeah,
wind. You know, and I'm like, wow, how come nobody did this when I was younger? I mean, everybody was hunting 30 feet in the air. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And I don't know why. I don't know why people do that. Some people still do, but I'm not necessarily a fan of heights.
Mm-mm.
So to be honest with you, the majority of my stands are 10 to 14 or 15 feet.
I used to be an
So
18 to 30 footer. Back when I was young and fearless, it was 30 feet.
right.
Then I dropped to 20. I don't do tree stands anymore other than ladders. Just
Okay.
because I don't have my balance like I had when I was younger. No
Sure.
cat
Yeah.
like reflexes, none of that
Yeah.
stuff.
Stuff
But
can
I
go
guess
sideways real quick when
no, but
you're
I
up
can still crap in a Ziploc bag. So that's a talent I have, and that's a talent I own. That's an
high.
Academy Award winning talent. So,
Gallon size or quart size?
gallon.
It'd be real
Gallon.
talent if it was a
Yeah.
sandwich baggie.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, no, forget it. So anyway, getting back to seriousness.
Yeah.
So killing big bucks over exclusive private land with little or no pressure, that's one thing. But to kill a buck with a lot of pressure on public land is another. What are your thoughts on that?
To be honest with you, I don't hunt any public land.
God bless you.
Yeah, I'm blessed because the few small spots of public land we have in my county here, Carroll County, I hear just horror stories, man. Like, obviously, in law enforcement, I have my buddies are DNR guys, conservation guys, and some of the stuff that they investigate out there, or the stuff other people have to deal with. Like,
Mhm.
I'm sure it's different in other areas where there's like giant public lands, but my hat's off to anybody that can kill deer on public land, because it's got to be extremely difficult
Mhm.
to scout, hang a stand, hunt, deal with someone else. Because I think in Indiana, even still, if you hang a stand and you tag it with your name, it doesn't give you rights to sit in it. Like, I'm pretty sure the law is like, if you and I are hunting the same public land and you get there before me, you can technically sit in my stand, is I believe the law. So I would not do well in that scenario.
No, no,
So
I totally understand. I mean, here in Florida, public land is retarded.
yeah,
It's quota based.
really,
So yeah, you have to apply for the tag to hunt deer in that particular spot, and if you don't make the quota, they'll send you somewhere else. I don't deal
really,
with that. I'm not from that mindset. I In Maryland, where I'm from, I would just so go and hunt public land and sit in it and scout it and hunt it like normal.
right,
But I've always had private access, so
right,
that's been a plus. Not so much now. I'm not killing deer like I used to, but that's okay. I don't care. I mean,
right.
I've been hunting since 1974, so
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It's probably, I'd say probably, I know, because guys I know that hunt public, it's extremely difficult. And if you want to kill a mature deer on public land, that's got to be even more
Oh
difficult.
yeah.
So, I mean,
Oh, for sure.
killing a
Any
mature deer in general is hard.
absolutely.
You
I
know,
mean, killing
you
a
get lucky.
mature doe is almost impossible.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, mature does I've shot over their back, I mean, good grief. Things they always seem to be, you know, aware that something is up. It's like a
Mhm.
spidey sense or something. And
Oh yeah.
some bucks ain't even that way. It's just,
Yep. That's survival mode, man. That's why
oh
they
yeah,
live that long.
absolutely.
So let me get your thoughts on scent control. I mean, I found out years ago that scent lock does not work. If you can smell your own farts, you're done.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So my take on that, is I try not to keep cussing on your thing, but it's all bullshit.
well,
So
it's PG-13. The only thing I don't
yeah,
allow is the C word and the F word. That's it.
yeah.
So,
So I was a canine handler and I worked a scent detection dog. So I understand, how scent receptors work and stuff in your nose. So like the human being as a, species has thousands of scent receptors in their nose. A canine or an animal that has a good sense of smell, like, a deer, they have millions of scent receptors in their nose.
sure.
So have you ever heard of what's called the stew theory?
No.
So, okay, so stew theory is like if you or I walk into a room and someone just made a pizza, you smell what? A pizza.
Hmm.
Maybe you can say pepperoni pizza or deluxe pizza. So, like a dog or an animal with high scent receptors, they separate odors. So, like that dog doesn't smell, ooh, pepperoni pizza. The dog smells the tomato paste, all the ingredients in that, all the ingredients in the dough, all the ingredients of
Wow.
everything that's on top of it. They can separate the odors, and
Sure.
that's how a scent detection canine is trained. Is that they can sniff, and then me and you smell marijuana or whatever. That dog can separate all the odors it's smelling, and then differentiate. This is the odor. I need to give my alert. And you can't tell me that a deer's not the same way. The scent spray, if you got a scent spray,
Hmm.
what's plastic? It's a petroleum product.
Right.
So you can't tell me that even the package that your scent spray is in is not holding some sort of odor in that scent spray.
Sure.
So, obviously you got to play the wind and all that stuff. And you probably shouldn't be spraying yourself with, Gucci cologne before you go out in the deer stand. But,
I know
um,
people that do that.
yeah, but hell, I know guys that kill deer with a cigarette dangling out of their
Yeah.
mouth. But yeah, scent control to me is a gimmick. Do I use a non-scented laundry detergent when I wash my clothes? Yes, or my hunting clothes. I do. Do I put them in my dryer? No, I hang them outside, let them air dry. So I'm not dumb with it, but at the same time, I don't think going and buying scent lock or whatever that is gonna let the deer walk downwind from you and
Sure.
then not know about it. So
Yeah. Well, for me, I mean, for me anymore, probably within the last 20 years, I changed my diet completely for hunting season. I do not eat onions. I do not eat garlic. I just eat vegetables and proteins.
mhm.
And when I hunt, cashews, things like that. Of course, my clothing is clean. I don't use, I bathe and I use Physohex to
Okay.
kill scent cells or the skin
Mhm.
cells off my body. That's about it. And I just play
Yeah.
the wind. Really, I just play the wind.
Yeah.
And I just, I monitor the deer, see what they're doing. Okay, I check out the wind patterns. I'll hunt it on a certain wind or I won't hunt it on a certain
Sure.
wind.
Yeah.
And it seems to work out.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you're not silly with stuff. I mean, as long as you have a concept of how scent works, and scent will always drop lower, and
Mhm.
it's going to go right down out of your tree stand. But like my wife, she probably doesn't like me in deer season because I'm not using deodorant. Like I'm not going to put that. I'm not going to add another scent to
Right.
myself before I
Yeah,
go out there. But
that's okay.
so
Extra showers.
yeah.
Um, so what are your thoughts on age structure, buck to doe ratios? How's that going with you on your property?
Um, where I hunt, in a lot of areas in Indiana, like our deer population is very healthy. So Indiana went to a 1 buck rule. God, I probably well before I even started hunting. So I think that's really helped. There's a couple areas where like it's urban where you can earn a buck. Like if
Right.
you kill a doe in an urban zone, you can earn a buck there. But for the most part in Indiana, you get 1 buck for
You're
any tag.
done.
You know, whether it's archery or gun or whatever, you get 1 buck. And I think that really has helped us create some really good hunting in Indiana, and it's a very target rich environment. I mean,
Mhm.
there's no issues with lack of deer in Indiana as far as I'm concerned. But as far as like managing does and stuff like that, I don't own my own property, so I don't really kind of look at it that way.
Mhm.
I will shoot does. I will shoot. I will usually shoot the first deer that gives me an opportunity. It's changed over the last couple of years, but I've killed plenty of does and plenty of smaller bucks, and I don't think about any culling practices or anything like that because it's not my property. But
Right.
um, yeah, so
Yeah, we'll throw that question out the window. Cold books, you know.
yeah,
But yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, I usually shoot the first deer that presents an opportunity because I just want meat in the freezer.
sure,
Um,
yeah. I mean, I love it, and my kids eat it. We eat it. The deer I killed last year, it's almost gone. I should have probably tried to kill another doe or something, but I try not to get too greedy because for the last 5, 6 years or whatever, if I kill one deer a year or two smaller does, that lasts my family.
mhm.
We're not depending on it
Right.
for our day to day.
It's a bonus.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like kind of a treat. The summer sausage or the snack sticks or tenderloins on the grill. So I don't try to get too greedy to the point where I'm just killing deer just to kill deer, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah, totally get it.
yeah. So like sometimes I kill one deer a year and that's it, and I'm okay with that. But
Yeah. When we first moved to our house in Maryland, it was on a farm. It backed up to like 80 acres of woods and field and whatnot. I was on a mission. I killed 27 deer one year.
holy cow.
But then my wife goes, "Really?" So, I ground a lot of it up and a lot of it went to the dog.
Yeah.
And then after that, I started donating it. Farmers
Yeah.
and hunters feeding the hungry, stuff like
Hmm.
that. It was great. I would kill 3 a year for us, and the rest went to donations. And I think
Yeah.
that's a good
Yeah.
program. I think it's a really
No,
good,
it
good program.
really is. Some of my buddies take advantage of that. The local processor that we use, they're amazing people, and they've
Hmm.
got they've got a really good program for feeding hungry people. And if I ever found myself wanting to hunt and needed to donate a deer, I would gladly pay that process fee so some other family could eat,
Sure.
because I know it's going where it needs to go. You know what I mean? Like when
Hmm.
you're doing something like that. So
Yeah, if I can help somebody or a family, anything I can do to help them, just to get the next meal on the table, I'm doing it.
yeah, absolutely. And
Um,
what's better than completely lean, unprocessed, unscrewed with meat? I mean,
yeah.
it's if some of these bodybuilders could save a lot of money if they just pick up a bow and arrow or something.
Well,
Because
speaking of
good grief,
bodybuilders, bro, my oldest son is a bodybuilder,
is
and
he
yeah, but he doesn't hunt.
really?
His brother hunts, and he does not share meat. Let me tell you what. It's only and we go there for Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever. Hey, Rich, we're having bacon wrapped tenderloins. The bodybuilder Jason, he's like, he's all over it.
Oh yeah,
He's like, well, if you hunted with your dad, you might be
yeah,
able to provide more protein for your physical fitness. But
oh
now
yeah,
we don't get any of that, so it's all good. So, what are your thoughts on mental mindset? Stuff between the ears when it comes to
yeah.
hunting.
That's huge. Like we touched on earlier, like you know, shooting a bow and being confident. Um, a lot of that is just mental. And heck, I use shooting a bow as a way to just kind of clear my head. Like some days, at work, it's a bad day, and
Oh yeah,
there's not much I want to do when I get home other than maybe shoot my bow a little bit, spend some time with my family. Um,
just
but
chill.
yeah, confidence is everything, and I feel like some guys get really caught up on, oh, I want to hunt with this bow because it's just a cool bow, or I really just like this bow, but
Mhm.
maybe they don't shoot that bow the best. Um, and that's something that it took me a little bit to learn. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it was in 2020. I had my rack full of bows. Some of them were customs, and I had a black hunter, and I shot it better than any of the other bows I had at the time. So I hunted with it, and I killed I got a 9-pointer up on the wall over here. I killed that deer with a black hunter when I had $1,000 custom sitting on my rack. But
I've
so
heard
yeah,
nothing but good things about that bow.
yeah. I mean, it kind of sucks that they're so good, but they're good bows. My kids shoot them. I got a couple of them, um, but yeah, like confidence is everything. So like shoot what is best for you and what you're most confident in.
Right.
And then one thing I like to do is like I'll bring a judo with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll always, rip a shot off my tree stand, pick a leaf or something, whatever. Or if I'm walking out and it's still light, if it's a morning hunt, and I'm walking out, I'll stump my way back, down the lane. I'll shoot, dirt clods or whatever, just to get that repetition. Because a lot of us, our arrow count goes way down come deer season, shooting all the time, all spring, summer. And then once you get broadheads loaded in, you may not be shooting much in your backyard. And I'm just as guilty of that. So, confidence is everything to me. The mental stuff can get you down. I've missed some really nice deer. I've missed more than enough really nice deer. One was like an 8-yard chip shot over his back by a foot. I mean, I knew what I did wrong, but like if you let that creep in your head, then that's all you'll think about the next time. So,
And what's funny you say that, if you're bow hunting for any length of time, I mean, I'm going on like almost 60 years of bow hunting. I've shot over backs. I've shot under them. I mean, you shake your head and you're like, what did I do? And because you're overthinking it, you're not picking your spot.
Exactly. Yeah. You looked at the whole deer and you let it rip but like you can still pick out like the one little good part is like, I remember I shot over the back of a really nice buck 2 years ago at like 8 steps from my stand.
Wow.
But it was, I'm like on a hillside and he's like 8 steps here. So he's almost like level with me. And I shot over his back. And afterwards I was like, well, my left and right was really good.
Now
it was perfect, but it was just over.
Now, by shooting over its back, were you thinking about the angle?
No, I just don't think I picked a spot.
Okay.
I just think I came back and it felt good, and I let it rip.
Like you said, rip and grip.
Oh yeah, and it just John Daly
grip and rip. Yep.
Yeah,
John Daly. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at a signed picture of John Daly. He's my idol with a cigarette in his mouth, ready to tee off. So I just love that guy.
He's in that second Happy Gilmore movie. Did you watch that?
Yeah, I did. I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
I thought the movie was kind of weird, but whatever. It's
whatever. It's supposed to be, I'm sure. Yeah.
Anything Happy Gilmore, anything Adam Sandler is weird.
Yeah.
You can do it. That's going to always be in my background. But so the noon hour, that's my favorite time to kill a big buck during a rut. What about you?
To be honest with you, I don't have the patience for it.
Okay.
So
tell me why.
Probably because I don't know. I'm a little bit ADHD, I guess. And if you get me sitting in a stand from 7 till 10, I'm probably pretty ready to go. The only kind of noon hour stuff I've done is like maybe I'll get down, and if I'm still feeling good, if I'm not too frozen or whatever, I'll do a little still hunting. So I'll kind of, meander, stop, kind of just take a look, see what's going on, meander a little bit more. But as far as like trying to target a deer in the middle of the day, I've never done that. I have buddies that have done it.
I've done it during the peak of the rut, when they're really cruising.
Oh yeah.
They're not on lockdown. This is pre-lockdown. So when they're cruising, anything can happen at any time. So I tend to go. I won't get into my stand till 10 in the morning.
Really?
And I'll stay there till 2, and then hit the rattle, a little grunting, little snort wheezing, and I've had a lot of success with that.
I've heard guys that do, and maybe it's just something silly in my head that makes me not want to go hunting at 10. But
well, if you're out with the boys the night before, 10 o'clock in the morning is a great time to go.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna I don't know if I want to switch gears now. Well, yeah, let me switch gears. Let's talk about equipment. What's your favorite setup? Because I know you shoot a lot of 3D.
Yeah, I love 3D. For the longest time, I was kind of a longbow guy, and I shot Kagan McCabe's Omega longbows. I really like those. Um, but I've been like really bit hard by this ILF thing,
Yep.
and I like to tinker. So that gives me the ability to try different stuff. So like you try different limbs on a different riser or different combination of this and that. But right now, so the deer I killed last year, I was shooting Tom Clum's peak to peak riser, uh, 19-inch riser with I think the DOS 3K carbon limbs with the
Hmm.
bamboo cores. Super sweet shooting bow. That's kind of one of the bows I can pick up and just kind of always hit with it, and that's why I hunted with it because it always worked for me.
Now that's an ILF rig, correct?
Yes, yes, sir.
So
So
for our listeners, can you explain ILF?
yeah, so ILF is International Limb Fitting, and what's really cool about it is you have your choice of umpteen thousand different brands, lengths of limbs, and they will work with any ILF riser or vice versa. So if I have Tom Clum's ILF riser, I could spend $50 on limbs, or I could spend $1,500 on limbs, and recurve or longbow,
Right.
and it's just a ton of fun. And uh, some guys really like it, some guys hate it. I'm one of those guys that I really like it. You can, ILF uses limb bolts like a compound, so you can adjust your tiller and stuff. So if you're a guy that likes to crawl way down the string, you can set your tiller for that. I shoot 2 under now, but I shoot 2 under up against the knock. So I like my bows even tiller, and I can
Where
make
are you
them.
bringing the arrow to? Right about here?
I'm anchoring index to the corner of my mouth.
Okay.
So I'm kind of a gap instinctive guy. I don't
Gotcha.
really set a gap. I don't necessarily, I know I'm seeing my arrow at some point. I won't try to argue that with anybody, but I'm not physically putting my tip of my arrow on where I want to hit or in
Hmm.
reference to it. So, but yeah, so the ILF's cool. I mean, you can get wood riser, G10 riser, metal riser. You go all the way down to, like, I've seen an 11-inch Toxicraft riser all the way up to your 29, 30-inch
Right.
barebow riser.
Right.
So, and I've got a handful of them now.
And the only reason why I'm asking that is because it's been, what's the word I'm looking for? It's been bugging me because I want to try it. I've never tried it.
Oh yeah,
I'm so old school. As you look behind me, I mean, it's just
oh
all
yeah,
one
for
piece
sure.
recurves. I want to try
Yeah.
something that's going to tax my brain.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's fun. I'm trying to think of the guy on YouTube. He's down south. Kind of got that. He hunts pigs. He's got a YouTube channel, and he mainly shoots like ASL longbows. Not Sam Kodiak, but the other guy. He bought like a Hermit X10. It's like a Chinese ILF bow, and they're fairly cheap, and you can have a ton of fun with one of those. And you could plug and play limbs, and but yeah, they're a lot of fun. I enjoy it, and I'm always trying new stuff and tinkering. Some of the guys give me a hard time for it, but that's what I like to do. So I mean, it's my hobby.
People would give me a hard time for 65 years, so I don't care. But
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
awesome.
Recently, I'm shooting. Calvin Smock and CD
Yep.
Archery and all that. So recently, I'm shooting their. They have a newer 17-inch riser, and I've been shooting it, and it is like incredible.
Hmm.
It's so incredible. I have a feeling I'm going to end up buying more of the risers, but
That's
um,
okay.
yeah,
So
it's
what
a
about arrows and broadheads? I mean, what's your combo? What's your favorite?
right now I'm shooting Safari Tough arrows. I've been
Hmm.
shooting those for a couple years now. Really like them. I'd never been a skinny arrow guy,
Yeah.
but
I like Randy's stuff. He makes some he produces some great stuff.
oh yeah, hell. I talked to him Saturday on the phone for like 2 hours, and he was late to pick up his wife from the airport because of it. But so last year I was hunting these Taipans or 500 spine 204, and then I use Magnus Stinger broadheads,
Hmm.
150 grain. So and I've been shooting those. I think my first deer I killed with a G5 Montec, just because someone said you got to have a cut on contact, and I bought those at wherever, and but since then I've gone to the Magnus Stingers. They're so easy to sharpen. They work
Mhm.
great. They fly great. I've never had any issues with them. You can change the blades real simple if you want. But yeah, I got everything from I'm kind of an arrow junkie too. I've got carbon, aluminum,
Yeah,
no wood. I'm not a wood guy. I do
me
have
either.
I do have some shafts. My buddy Bailey sent me. He's a self bow wood guy, and he's an incredible bowyer. He makes bows in his garage and stuff. And he sent me some wood shafts to mess around with. I just haven't got there yet. So I'm sure
Yeah,
one day.
I've been shooting Zwickey 170 grains. I went
Oh yeah.
back to, I've been shooting carbons for forever, gold
Hmm.
tip traditionals. So I went back to the old school 2018
Oh yeah.
XX75s, man.
Oh
And
yeah.
let me tell you what, I've been killing some shit. Yeah, so
Oh yeah. I got a
yeah,
pile of those sitting over here. I got
yeah,
1916, 2016, 2018, 2117.
yeah.
All of them. Yeah, you ought to give Randy a call and try if you like those carbons with the wood look to them. The old schools that they have a really cool pattern.
Yeah, I saw
The
Randy a couple weeks ago at the Indianapolis PBS banquet. We talked at
Yeah,
length. Uh,
yeah.
were you there?
I was not. No,
Okay, okay.
no. Him and Danny, they're doing awesome things with that company, and they're good dudes, and I don't just shoot their stuff because I'm a fanboy. Their stuff is good. I really
Yeah.
like their
Oh, I've
products.
never had a bad product. I've had a
Yeah,
few products from them, and I was like, man, this is good stuff.
yeah. Their cases are awesome. Their
Yeah.
transformer case, like I use that for everything to and from 3D, and so they're sweet. I if you like them gold trip trads that had that kind of wood grain look, you'd like their old schools. They're like a darker wood pattern.
I'll give them a
And
call for
yeah,
sure. I'm looking for a good case for a one piece recurve. I travel up north quite a bit to bow hunt, and
hmm
I'm tired of just. I have takedowns up north that are at my friend's house, but I don't
right.
really want to hunt with my one pieces,
Yeah,
and so I need a good travel case. So I'm gonna have to start checking some luggage here lately. Uh,
yeah,
so I'm just looking for that, and I think Randy can probably put out something good that would be a one piece recurve. You'd probably need a 10-inch diameter
yeah,
PVC that's covered in Kevlar or whatever. I
yeah.
don't know
Or
how
like
that.
something like a gun case type thing that's got like a
Right.
foam cutout or yeah.
And all the gun
How long
cases that
is
I
it?
found are 60 inches. So all the gun
Okay,
cases I found are 54 inches. Like
okay,
at Harbor Freight, the hard case.
yeah,
And of
yeah,
course, my bow is 58 inches unstrung.
right,
So I'm like, so
yeah.
whatever. So I'll just keep, using the bear takedown. But at any rate, so other equipment that you like, binoculars, compass, clothing, cell phones, wrist watches. I mean, everything's smart. So do you
Right.
rely on any smart technology when you're hunting?
No, I don't. I wear a wristwatch, but mainly to keep track of my steps and
Mhm.
because I'm constantly busy and then to check my time or whatever. But I don't carry binoculars. Like the guys up here give me a hard time for it. I don't carry binoculars. I don't. Um, I always have a cell phone, obviously, mainly
Mhm.
for work. Like hell, I was sitting in the deer stand this last fall and I keep hearing siren after siren after siren after siren leaving town. And my wife texts me, and she was working the next county over, and she goes, "Carroll County's got something going on, big deal." So I get on the phone, and hell, I climb out of the deer stand. 20 minutes later, I'm flying a drone on a hostage situation. So
Oh
it's
boy,
like
yeah.
I like to be connected. In my kids too. I hate cell phones, but God, it's nice to be able to see where your kids are at
Hmm.
and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
I
But
stalk my own kids on Facebook. I mean, well,
oh
not
yeah,
anymore, but when they were younger, yeah, to see what
but
they're up to.
yeah, I don't get too I don't get too involved with bringing too much with me to the deer stand. Usually got everything that I can to take care of a deer if I need. But other than that, it's usually just my cell phone and my bow. I've been known to buy and sell and trade bows from the deer stand too.
I've
So
done that, dude. I'm a collector. So I've
yeah, oh
actually,
yeah,
so I was in New York State last year. My buddy John, we're hunting at his nephew's place. So we're sitting around after dinner, having a beer, fire in a fireplace, and all that stuff. And they're like, "Why are you smiling?" I said, "I just bought 7 bows." And they're like,
yeah,
"Wow." That's crazy.
It's bad. I don't know if you're on Trad Talk or any of those places too with now,
I
Facebook.
check them once in a great while, but not for most part.
Yeah, I get on there and there's a couple of guys that I really only talk to on there. So like we'll message back and forth and stuff while I'm hunting or whatever. But um but yeah, I keep it kind of simple. I just kind of like it that way. If there's some days where I wish I could just throw my cell phone out the window, but it's just
Yeah.
not feasible in today's world, I guess. So it is what it is.
Well, Darren, we're at the bewitching hour here, and I know you got to get your daughter to the ballpark.
Oh yeah.
Uh, so,
Scrimmage tonight.
what's in store for you for the rest of this year and 2027?
Well, 3D is hot and heavy right now, and man, dude, I love 3D. I do. Like, I could almost say I like that more than hunting.
Hmm.
And I'm a member of Whiskey City Traditional
Hmm.
Archers. David Snyder. He's built something beautiful down there, and I just love all the guys there. And so I go to all the club shoots. I'm really looking forward to our end of the year classic. But I'm leaving Thursday morning to go to the Tennessee Classic, and then we got Cloverdale. I'm sure you know what Cloverdale
Oh
is.
yeah, yeah.
Cloverdale is a really important one to me because for as long as my daughter's been able to shoot a bow, it's been like daddy daughter thing. Like
Hmm.
she always comes with me, and she loves it. And she looks forward to seeing Teresa Asbell and all what her little trinkets she's got and stuff. But um, so yeah, she's actually won like 3 trophies too. She's a heck of a
That's
shot.
awesome.
Yeah, my son came last year. He got like third place in his division. But so Cloverdale and then Compton is closer to home this year. It's in
Yeah.
Noblesville, Indiana, at Katiwi. So I'm going to Compton, and then ETAR. It's going to be my first ETAR year. I got that
Oh,
off the
you're
work.
gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. So going to ETAR, and then come hunting season, we'll just kind of see. My son's 14, and he's a heck of a shot when he wants to shoot his bow. He's got a recurve. And when I killed my buck last year, it was the first time he really was kind of like, man, I want to do that. And I was like, if you want to do it, you tell me, and I will stop everything for
We'll
myself
make it
this
happen,
year.
brother.
We'll make it happen. But he's so busy with sports and stuff. He's a quarterback, and
Hmm.
and he's not doing baseball this year. But if he has the desire and wants to start shooting, I'm not going to push him. We kind of let our kids kind of make their own path as far as like their extracurriculars go.
Excellent parenting.
Yeah, and they're great kids. I can't say enough good things about them. But so if he wants to make that happen, then I will be guide, and we'll get him sending some arrows at something. And if not, then I'll try to
Hmm.
kill a deer or two. And I'm hoping to maybe go to Texas and hog hunt. I met a guy on Instagram. He's a firefighter down there, and his family's got a lease, and he invited me and a buddy of mine to come down
Sweet.
if we'd like. And so if we can make that happen, we'll probably go to East Texas and try to do some hog hunting. I've never done anything like that, so
Yeah,
I'd
it's a
like to
great
do
time.
it.
It's a great time. Kill some javelinas too, because they need to be killed.
Yeah.
There's too many of them. They're like cockroaches.
Are they? I
Yes, they
bet.
are.
But yeah, like so for that, 3D all summer. I mean, I love it. And then the Whiskey City Classic. You got to try to make that sometime.
Well, I'm
Uh,
retiring. Well, I was going to retire in August, but my wife told me otherwise. And I said, "All right, one more year." So August of 2027 is my going to be my last year working. You guys will see me at the shoots.
oh yeah, yeah. We'd love to have you. I know. I can't remember the fellow's name that you interviewed. He was at the Classic last year, camping
Rick
right next.
Rourke.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
Rick.
yeah.
Yeah,
Rick's a good buddy of mine. We hung out at the Indianapolis PBS banquet. His wife and my wife, they got along great. It was just fantastic. Good
yeah.
times.
Seemed like great people. And
Yep.
but yeah, so the David Snyder, I'm sure the Classic will be even bigger in 2027 if you can make it.
Dude, my interview with David was almost 3 hours long and it's over 4,000 views.
Really,
It's amazing.
he's awesome, man. Like
Yeah.
he's just a good dude. Like for what he's
Have did
doing,
did you see his video from the PBS banquet making fun of me on a bronze statue with a giant mustache guy? Yeah.
yeah,
That was
yeah,
hilarious. I said, man, dude, that is like awesome. I love it. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, he's got a good thing going down there, surrounded by a bunch of good people, and his property is just beautiful, and we're just blessed to be able to come there and share it with him,
Yep.
and yeah, it's great. I travel. It's 2.5 hours, 2 and 45 for me to get there, so I drive to the shoots
Yeah.
and I'll be
I'm all
camping there.
about flying, bro. I fly and I land, get a rental car, and I'm hanging out.
I don't do airplanes. I don't do airplanes.
Oh,
There's I don't want to say too much, but there's some. I might be having to fly to Texas for a cold case, and I don't want to do it. I don't like
I
flying.
got you. I'm a pro at it, so I'm here to
Yeah,
tell you, don't worry about it. Maybe take a Xanax or something.
yeah, maybe. I don't
I
know.
take gummies myself, but whatever.
Yeah. Whatever
Uh,
you got to do.
yep. So Darren, thank you so much for coming on with us tonight.
Thanks
Uh,
for having me.
yeah, I
This is
hope to
the
meet
first
you
podcast
someday.
I've ever done.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah,
I hope to meet you someday. And
yeah. You as
people,
well.
yeah. So my last PSA for the day is, hey folks, respect, love, and embrace each other. Just take care of each
Absolutely,
other, pass it
absolutely.
forward, and if you
Yep,
see something, say something.
absolutely.
All right, Darren. You have a good night. Enjoy
You
your
too,
time
brother.
with your daughter. Take care, brother.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Take care, buddy.
Mhm.